Okay, so let's talk about something every modern company faces, that constant, chaotic storm of negative feedback online. But what if you could take all that online anger and actually turn it into something useful, something structured? Well, today we're going to dive into a new approach that's designed to do exactly that. It's called the Flow Recovery Agent.
We've all seen comments like this, right? It's raw, it's emotional, and you know what? It's incredibly public. This isn't some private email that a manager can handle quietly. No, this is out there for the whole world to see. And it can damage a brand's reputation in a heartbeat. This is the reality companies are swimming in every single day. And that really gets us to the core question here. How do you possibly take thousands of these unstructured emotional comments and turn them into clear, actionable insights? How do you find the actual signal in all of that noise? The answer, it turns out, lies in a totally new way of thinking about AI.
First, let's just make sure we're on the same page about how big this problem is. We're in an era where a customer getting frustrated isn't a private phone call anymore. Nope, it's a public minefield. A single complaint can go viral and just completely unravel the trust that brands work for years to build. And here's the real operational problem from the inside. Companies are, quite literally, drowning. They are just overwhelmed by the sheer volume of this feedback. And it's not neatly organized, you know? It's a messy, emotional, relentless flood of comments and DMs and posts. And most of them just don't have a system to make any sense of it. And this really shows you why the human teams, no matter how great they are struggling. Replies are slow or all over the place. It's almost impossible to figure out what's truly urgent versus what's just noise. Keeping the brand tone consistent, a huge challenge. And all those valuable insights, they just get lost in the flood. And those lost opportunities, that's where the real cost is.
So, if the old way is broken, what's the fix? Well, it's something called the Agentic approach. Now, instead of thinking about one single giant AI tool, I want you to imagine a coordinated team of digital specialists. Each one has a very specific job, and they all work together to solve the problem. Now, you might be wondering, hey, can't you just write a really long, really clever prompt for a big language model and just have it handle all this? And that's a fair question, but the answer is no. The problem is just way too complex for that. A single prompt can't work because it's not one task. It's a bunch of different tasks rolled into one. And here's why. It's a multi-step challenge. First, an AI needs to perceive the comment. You know, is it angry? Is it toxic? Is it urgent? Then it has to interpret the why behind it. What's the real problem? After that, it has to generate a reply that's actually helpful and on brand. Then it has to judge if this thing is risky enough that a human needs to see it. And finally, it has to coordinate with that human. See, each step needs a different skill. And this whole idea has a name. It's called Agentic design. It's all about using a team of these specialized, coordinated AI agents to tackle a complex problem that no single agent could ever handle on its own. The best way to think about it is like a digital assembly line for thinking.
Okay, so let's get specific. We're going to look at a system built on this exact principle. It's called the Flow Recovery Agent, and its entire purpose is to take that social media chaos and turn it into clarity.
So picture this. An angry comment comes in, and it starts a journey down this pipeline. It gets passed from one specialist agent to the next, and each one adds a new layer of structure and intelligence before handing it off. To really see how this works, let's actually follow a single angry comment as it makes its way through this entire system step by step. First stop, the listener and classifier agent. Think of this as the triage nurse in the emergency room. Its only job is to read the comment and do a super quick assessment. What's the feeling here? How nasty is the language? And how fast do we need to deal with this? Okay, next up, it goes to the root cause analyzer. This is where the magic really starts to happen. This agent isn't just looking at the angry words. It's been trained to dig deep and figure out the why. Is the product broken? Was the shipping late? Did they have a bad experience with a support agent? Getting to the why is everything. So once the system understands the problem, the comment it's passed to the empathetic response writer. This agent's job is to write a reply that's both compassionate and perfectly in line with the company's voice. You know, acknowledge the frustration, de-escalate the whole situation. But, and this is probably the most important agent of all, before anything gets posted, it goes to the Risk and Escalation Manager. This thing is the final safety check. It scans for any legal red flags or PR nightmares. If the stakes are too high, it immediately flags the whole thing for a human to review. This human-in-the-loop design is absolutely essential to doing this responsibly. So after that whole journey, what do we actually have? Well, we have a complete transformation. We've gone from that initial chaotic, angry comment to a clear, structured, and genuinely actionable output. And you can see it right here in action. The input, "Your customer service is a joke," has been totally transformed. The system figured out the likely root cause was poor agent training. It drafted a really good, empathetic response, and it decided this one doesn't need a human to step in. Just like that, chaos becomes clarity. Now, for anyone curious about the tech stack, this was built using a framework powered by Gemini models. But the real key is a special communication protocol that lets all these different agents talk to each other and share information seamlessly. And of course, it's all wrapped up with custom tools and that super important human-in-the-loop design. But look, just responding to complaints better is only the beginning. The real power here isn't just in managing negativity. It's using these insights to actually improve the business. So what's next for a system like this? Well, the roadmap is pretty exciting. I mean, imagine hooking this up directly to Instagram or TikTok to catch problems the second they happen. Or adding a trend listener agent that doesn't just see one complaint, but spots a recurring issue across thousands of comments before it blows up. Then you connect it all to the company's CRM, and you can finally close the loop from a public complaint to a happy, loyal customer. And that really leaves us with one last powerful thought. This tech isn't just about managing angry people online. It's about deep, deep understanding at a scale we've never seen before. So I'll just leave you with this question. If you could listen to and truly understand every single customer complaint, not as noise, but as precious data, what could you fix? What could you improve? What could you build?